I think you guys noticed he had a good sense of humor on the video. And he built a lot of jokes into the house. Now he has toilet seat picture frames. This might be to complement that. This is actually his two-seated outhouse. And Art said he put his and her toilets in here so he could sit here and have conversations with people.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
But there's pictures in the 60s and 70s. People would actually take their picture with him sitting in here. And you might notice he also built the two-seated outhouse right next to the outdoor barbecue. Maybe for convenience, I was thinking.
Who knows?
But you know, he'd tell people while he's building the place, he'd take a coffee break every 15 minutes, which Art described as a coffee cup filled with a bush beer. And he called beer cans building materials. And you guys look around, you'll see a lot of beer cans. Most of them,
Aisle.
they'll actually
More
have to
abalone.
be bush beer. But I've been here a while. It's starting to look like there's more beer cans and abalone shelves. When you look at the house, sometimes you think maybe it was one too many coffee breaks as soon as he built it. But the older he got, the more coffee breaks he was taking.
Need some beer to keep it going. Okay, so it's beer with the bees?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of sad. He was an orphan. He was born in Oakland in 1896.
He was born in what?
Oakland.
And he was an orphan?
1896, Oakland, California.
Oh, okay.
He said his father was Irish, which he never knew. He also said his mother was a Klamath Indian. Now, he claimed his mother died in the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. He was an orphan when he was 10. But as you guys
That right
start
there
looking
is a
around,
little tool for
you'll notice he
breaking
built a
down
lot of his and
tires.
her themes.
Oh,
For
wow.
breaking the
Now,
bead.
we got the pink and blue built in throughout the whole property, it seems.
Maybe he wanted to be married. Why is there too much for a girl and for a boy, huh?
He's like, when I get done building this house, I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah, but yeah, he's right. I see a lot of pink and blue.
There's pink and blue, too.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that goes up and up there, right?
That's the thing that worries me is the winters.
Looks like a deer.
But now this is the reason they wouldn't let him stay here at the end. This is what's left of the indoor bathroom. They put him in the rest home against his will in '89. They could only keep him so long. While he's in there, they gutted the bathroom, condemned his house. He couldn't come back.
Oh.
But at one time, he did have a plumbed-in tub and shower. But a lot of people, they tell me it didn't matter. People said you couldn't stand close to him long. Art said he only took a bath once a year. You know, I'm not sure if it's that or that pickled garlic he was drinking. But people tell me you knew when he was coming around you before you'd see him. This stuff. Well, see, as you guys get in here, he was known to like animals, which he kind of reflects in the collage. Nature. We do think he kind of liked the ladies. But the longer I'm here, I think his true love may have been outhouse jokes and toilet seats. The bathroom humor, that seems to repeat itself as much as it is in her.
Fox.
Now this is what's left of his bedroom. There's pictures that would have carpeting. He had a bed.
1962.
Most of that's gone. But his clothes are still in here. There's newspapers up there from the 60s. And he was the garbage man, but he was also known as a cook. There's stories when he was in his 80s, Cambria Pines Lodge restaurant would get busy. He'd cook there. I kind of believe that story. I think this is his last cook's uniform. He has a dirty chef's jacket, a clean one, the pants.
Yeah.
And if he lets you folks in, he'd want to cook for you. Now, most people I talk to, they wouldn't need his cooking. But the brave ones, they tell me he was surprisingly clean around food and he could cook good. But he had bad habits. He chewed tobacco. He kept a spittoon on top of the desk. I don't think that was a good idea. He'd miss. That's his tobacco. But you know, I get people, they tell me if anyone ever claims to be a grandkid or descendant, we might have proof there. His DNA could be in there. So maybe it's good he did that. Then there's pictures of him. He's wearing this bathrobe, standing out there on the balcony. And people, they said you'd visit him. Half the time, this is all he'd greet you in with nothing else on under it. And the older neighbor ladies, they're saying when he got real old, that's all he'd wear in town and he gets windy.
Oh.
That might have helped him the rest of a lot faster.
Nice.
And this is my favorite.
Did you see after winter here?
A lot of pulp.
Come in here at 99.
A lot of coffee breaks.
I don't know what it was quite supposed to be, whether it was a penguin or a pink flamingo.
Well, with what's left in here in the bedroom, you still get a little sense of feeling how he's living with the stuff that's left. And the more you look around, He's a funny bachelor. Here he salvaged a baby's dresser for kitchen and drawers. I never knew him in stuff like this. I was going through this drawer, I found a zipper collection. I can remember when I was a kid, my grandma had a drawer full of strings, buttons, zippers. People living in the Depression, World War II, they never wasted anything. And I also remember a blue chip, or there was green stamp books, but this is a blue chip book. And it is kind of sad. It looks like when he lost his job as the garbage man in the late 50s, he struggled with money. There's bills. He actually owned the property next door where they built the house. He lost that lot in the 60s for property taxes. In the late 50s on, he'd had financial trouble. He went in the rest home, people did some vandalism. There had also been water damage. Now we fixed this roof. It hadn't leaked in here in about 9 years. It's stable. They're probably done working in here. Because I don't know if any of you guys noticed the stove. It almost looks like it did in the video from '77. Just a lot dirtier. And you know, it's really kind of strange. I've been here since '99. We never seem to have trouble with cockroaches. There's no rats, mice. I think it's so petrified now, nothing wants it. But when he went in the rest home in '89, I'm surprised nothing got in the oats. There's actually syrup and flour in here. But then I do have people saying it's cleaner now than when he lived here at the end. They tell me he got bedridden and people liked him. They said we'd come in and try to clean up. He'd scream and yell and call it nature's artwork. So it may look more like a haunted house when he lived here at the end than it does now.
Interesting.
Somebody was eating the soap.
Oh, his last name?
Gross.
That was Captain Nitt Witt. That was one of his real known nicknames.
I wonder if you could Google him.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that come up.
But so he was raised, he came out of an orphanage, so he really didn't know his mother.
Well, he was with his mother for the first 10 years.
Oh, he
So,
was?
Yeah, she died, he said, in the 1906 San Francisco earthquake.
But do you think that's true?
By all accounts, it's true. That's all the documentation we have. And there's
Yeah.
nobody that's showing up that says that they've been any family for years. So when he was here, he got semi-famous and became a landmark in 81 to the 60s and 70s. He's in books, on TV shows.
Yeah, I
And
know.
nobody ever came up claiming to be a kid or a wife. Or
Yeah.
What a view.
But you know, for me, I was a kid growing up in the 60s. My grandma had a bed spud like this. And then you'll notice the wallpaper in here, it's mermaids. And you guys look around, even though it's remnants or junk, he did have somewhat of a feminine decorative side.
So what drew you, how did you get involved with this in
My wife bought it in 99.
Company's coming.
Foundation for $42,000.
Oh,
They sold
you
the
bought
water
it.
meter. They sold the water rights in '97, so you can't live in it. There's no water.
Oh,
But you
okay.
can't tear it down, it's been a landmark since '81. So I think it's now about 2 years.
More
Oh,
abalone.
really?
And
So
we did
you
all
and
this
your wife,
work when we first
what
started.
made you and your wife want to buy
I
this?
didn't think about a landmark, you just kind of, I had a little money.
How interesting.
But now, we think this was the front door. There's pictures, he had a 6 or 8 pane glass door here. He had a door back there, so this room was enclosed and finished. But I think this is the front door because of tile work, this is an entryway. And I don't know if you guys been noticing the handrails. This was actually the plumbing system. All the pipes would carry water. All these pipes, they worked up until 1997. We had water running all over the handrails. Watch your step and I'll take down up here in the garden.
Handrails are a plumbing pipe that was actually functioning for plumbing. Ba-boom. Ooh.
And all these little plots, this was the garden area. People tell me it used to be real nice. He grew corn, artichokes, squash, and all these plots. What's funny, the city water hasn't worked since '97. You don't water anything. But this is a pear tree, fruits over here. It has crabapple trees in here. There seems to be enough groundwater to trees live off that. But at the end of the season, squirrels in here is perma free. So whether anybody's here or not, between animals and groundwater, Nitt Witt Ridge has like these things. And it is kind of funny.